Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Virgo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. I thank you so much in advance. It really, really helps the channel. So, Virgo, this is a series of readings about blockages and overcoming blockages. Today, we're going to be doing your reading with the wild unknown animal spirit as the overall energy of the oracle, and for the tarot of the abyss. So, let's get straight to it. Angel spirits, guides, what messages do you have for Virgo, please? You got two cards, and I'm going to actually take them both. The other signs didn't get to. I don't think they did anyway. You got one of the water element, which is oyster, and we notice here the oyster is completely closed up, and the moth energy, which is air energy. So anytime I see the moth, I think of um, intuitive insight, kind of underworldly knowledge, psychic ability, this kind of strange draw to the flame that is instinctual. They can't help it. So there's something here, maybe there's something here that you haven't been able to help lately. So we're thinking about the blockages that you may have. The oyster, this one seems like a pretty straightforward message of things being trapped on the inside, treasures being trapped on the inside, but everything's so tightly wound, so tightly closed up. These two cards together, sorry, this one almost fell on the floor. These two cards together, could it be that you're denying a piece of your psychic ability right now because perhaps it's too valuable to share, or I was going to say terrifies you? Does your own psychic ability, your own clair abilities, your clairaudience, your clairvoyance, clairsentience, does that scare you? Has it been coming into play recently in your life? And you don't know what to make of it. Maybe you've been having prophetic dreams and you don't want to tell anybody about it because it scares you. All right, so 8 cards for the base spread. And I'll pull clarifiers if I need to, past, present, future, and advice from spirit. And once I get all the cards out on the table, I will look at the bottom of the deck to see what your blockage is. One more. Okay, so bottom of the deck we have the Tower in reverse. This is the bottom of the deck. Let me show you the Tower in the upright. So the Tower can be attributed to Aries or Scorpio energies. So you could be dealing with somebody that's of either of those signs. But it's a major arcana, number 16, and it talks about something being built on a shaky foundation. I just heard your perception of someone. So there could be somebody in your life that you had high hopes for, or a certain level of expectation, and you've seen the signs. Your intuition is guiding you to know that somebody in your life or some situation, not for the best and highest good, but instead of perhaps dealing with it straight on, you've been trying to keep the tower from falling. It's almost like you've been trying to save face is what I just heard, but it's not you saving face because I don't feel like you're embroiled in whatever situation this is. It's almost like you want to save someone else from a potential embarrassment, losing face. But underneath the tower in reverse was the Justice card. Libra energy, Justice in reverse. Why did I say Justice in reverse? It would be Justice in reverse if you continue to try and um, keep the chips from falling where they may. It's important that you allow things to come to pass because karmic balance requires it. That somebody has to take responsibility or own up to their part of the scenario. And there's part of you that knows that, but you've clammed up. You're keeping mum about a situation. And it's really weird. I had like this piece of dust and I just like threw it away from me. Almost like that was a really weird interaction that I would have like while I'm recording. It's almost like I wanted to get something away from me. Like my sister used to do this when we were younger. She'd be done with her food and instead of just, keeping her plate in front of her until it was time to put the plate away or to clean up or whatever, she would just kind of, this was when she was younger, but she would just push it away from her and towards me, perhaps for me to clean up. I don't know. But that was that interaction. It was almost like I just wanted to get this piece of dust, like I wanted it away from me. And so perhaps you're kind of trying to be a little closed off about what you know. What is it that you know, Virgo? I don't know. I'm very curious now. But this is to, if we don't allow this tower to fall, we're just going to be perpetuating a cycle, right? And Spirit doesn't want you to do that because then you become wrapped up in somebody else's business, somebody else's problem. In the past energy here, very interesting, Ten of Swords, which is one of the toughest cards in the deck. It talks about really being trapped in your head, really feeling a sense of understanding that there's been some disappointment, massive disappointment, betrayal energy. There are two versions of the Ten of Swords in this particular deck. This one talks about gaining wisdom from all of these thoughts we've been having. The suit of the swords is all about the cerebral space, the thinking mind. The other depiction of the Ten of Swords is being stabbed in the back 10 times. This is clarified by the Death card in the upright. Scorpio energy again. You could be dealing with a Scorpio here. Scorpio energies have to do with the underworld and secrets. Pluto rules over Scorpio. Pluto is this, it's the furthest planet away from us and can be a harbinger sometimes. This is your past energy. There's some sense of betrayal or disappointment, massive, like disappointment on a massive scale, like somebody let somebody else down. Maybe it's not even directly with you, but you experience the fallout from it. Maybe it was a spouse or a situation where the ramifications kind of trickled in your direction, and then you were required to pivot and make I wanted to say it was like kind of reinvent yourself or cast a new light on the situation because you didn't have a choice. So I'm going to pull a clarifier on it. But Spirit just gave me a story and then I lost it. Should have said it. What was it, Spirit? I can't call it forth. Um oh, that was fast. King of Wands in the reverse. Okay. So King of Wands in the upright would talk about somebody who, see how this person is channeling a lot of that fire energy? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There's somebody here that could have once been in the position to um, offer something of great value that came from a very motivated, creative, perhaps even sexualized space. But in the reverse, they couldn't really deliver. This is somebody who is all talk and no action. And you just found yourself completely, it's almost like you found yourself at odds with your intuition. You know, Virgos are obviously earth signs, and you have a sense of groundedness, rootedness in the material world in the 3D, right? So once we start getting into really, really heady spaces, um, we have to remember that like our thoughts can get away from us, and Virgo can be good at like repurposing and regrounding that energy. Just say, okay, let me just, yes, a lot of thoughts are running away with me, but let me just pull it all together. But these energies for Virgo might be very foreign, right? Especially this one, because it requires you, when we're in the moth energy, it requires you to look at things that don't have a neat and tidy explanation. And this is coming from within you. It's your instincts. Maybe this is what, in the past, this is what this death and rebirth was all about. You know, it's almost like this cosmic soup within your soul having to reinvent yourself, right? In the present energy, Six of Cups in the reverse, not wanting to look back at a situation, right? There's a situation here in the past, not wanting to look back at it. There's nothing fond to remember. When the Six of Cups is in the upright, there's a gentleness and um, a small bit of the words I'm coming up with are gentleness, loveliness. I don't usually use those words with this card, but like a calm beauty when we look back on some happy memories. But you got this card in the reverse in the present position. There's something that you're just like, we're done and done with that. I'm no longer waiting. Three of Wands in the upright. I'm no longer waiting for this scenario to figure itself out. I'm if this ship isn't going to yield anything useful to me, then I'm just going to go in a different direction and find a different ship. It's like weighing your options. It's like looking at what your outs are. What are your exit plans? I don't know if this is a business partnership or what this is. Why did I say looking at your exit plan? Are you having to like put out a fire, Virgo? Put out this fire? There's a lot of things happening with my nose right now, which makes me think of that show. This is a very old show. There used to be a show on TV called Bewitched. It was a very cute show. And it was about this like kind of married couple, and the woman was like a legit witch. And she could do all these amazing things by just like wiggling her nose. And I don't know, did her husband know that she was a witch? See, now I can't remember. Most people didn't know. In fact, I don't think her husband knew. Don't quote me on that. But there's something to it. Her husband didn't know she was a witch. Maybe there's some situation here where people are really in the dark about your psychic ability. If this doesn't resonate, then it's not your reading. But I feel like I'm talking to Virgos who have come online with their mystical abilities, that they're starting to see synchronicities, that they're starting to have prophetic dreams, they're starting to see signs and synchronicities from their spirit guides or their passed away loved ones. They're starting to smell things that, perfumes or colognes or scents that remind them of passed away loved ones. Take it as it resonates. There's something hidden here, Virgo. And I'm not trying to call you out on it, but Spirit is kind of saying that this is a blockage right now because there's a lack of acknowledgement of something. Ace of Swords in the reverse to clarify the Six of Cups and Three of Wands. What does the Ace of Swords talk about? Well, in the upright, it's all about clarity and Spirit bringing that clarity, and it's in the reverse. Anytime we get aces, we have to be in the position to receive that ace. We have to have our arms open and say, okay, Spirit, I'm ready for what you have to give me. In this case, it's truth. It's truth. It's clarity. It's information, fact finding, and it's in reverse. So there's really something here that you're just like refusing to look at. And you know what? With the cards that are coming up, I can understand why. But you're delaying something, right? This Tower in reverse, which is your main blockage, it's about delaying the inevitable. And this is the thing. Sorry, I heard this really prolonged car honking. I was waiting for it to stop because it was persistent. It's persistent car honking. Spirit's trying to reach you. And it's like, I'm closed for shop. Closed for shop? Closed the shop. Why did I say closed for shop? There are all sorts of weird energies in your reading today. I feel a little hazy. And I think I got enough sleep. Drinking coffee. Nothing strange about my day. But there's a haziness. It's almost like you're trying to block me from accessing something, which is absolutely fine. I'm gonna let you do that if that's what you want. But tarot is timeless, so even if you're watching this 2 years from when I'm recording it, it's almost like I'm speaking to that 2 years in the future, and I need you to help me to deliver this message to you from wherever you are in time and space. Help me to deliver this message to you. You came to this reading for a reason. Okay, but I feel like I'm being sent in. It's like a fog machine. I'm going to pull one more on this Ace of Swords in reverse. I want to know what it is that Spirit's trying to bring into you. Eight of Cups. Walking away from something. You're trying to walk away. Do you feel shame about that? Is there some kind of shame attached to you walking away from a situation? Do you feel like you're abandoning something or someone? Okay, I'm getting a very specific story now. Uh, it's about a person that I know, and I'm not going to give too many details because just in case she's watching, and it's her story to tell. Long story short, estranged family member that would only come around when they wanted something, money, resources. And then once that person got what they wanted, you'd never heard from them, right? Maybe we all have somebody in our family that's kind of like that. And, if you consider yourself a good person, then it's not like you to abandon somebody when they need something. But to that, I will say, it's it's time to let go of whomever or whatever is not a good influence in your life. It's toxic. It's enabling, it's perpetuating a cycle that needs to come to a close. Perhaps it's somebody that had a lot of high hopes and they disappointed you. And now you're looking at that face to face, at least privately in your secret space. And in that secret space, that's the gem, right? That's where you find the gem. But what is a pearl inside of an oyster? It's like a calcification, right? It's a piece of sand that gets trapped inside the oyster body, and the oyster registers that as a foreign entity and creates calcification over that one grain of sand so that it doesn't cause any further harm. And in that calcification comes an object that we deem as rare and valuable. I don't think the oyster would see it that way. So it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective. How are you going to look at this situation? Are you going to look at it as something like a thorn in your side? Or are you going to look at it as something that you are learning from, growing from, developing from? Whatever the situation is, even if it requires you to walk away and spirit is bringing that message. I asked for clarification on the Ace of Swords. What are you trying to tell them? What are you trying to tell Virgo? And it's like, there's something here that you want to walk away from. And you can't ignore that anymore. You're trying to. I think part of you is saying maybe we can make it work. I don't know if this has to do with the marriage. I don't know. But take it as it resonates. But it's all about your perspective. Either you're going to see this as a continuing thorn in your side, or you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to learn from this experience and I'm going to get something valuable out of it. I'm going to find value in the effort. Page of Pentacles in the future position, right? Page of Pentacles is a beginner's mind with something. I've got the seed. Where should I plant it? There's a new beginning potentially here. I have something to say, and it may not be fully formed, but I need to say it because it's been plaguing me for so long. Three of Swords. Three of Swords is the heartbreak card. You got the two most difficult cards in the tarot, right? It's like I have a whole deck here of cards, and you got the two most difficult, the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords, right? Three of Swords is heartbreak. But it's interesting because look at this depiction. One, he's got kind of like a very open head chakra or crown chakra. Three of Swords coming into this book and the letters being catapulted off of the page and turning into birds. that lead into the mind. And we can't forget that the swords is all about the mind space. So while the Three of Swords can talk about a deep hurt, deep wounding emotionally, we're caught intellectually about what to do about it, right? When you feel something, it's guttural, it's in the heart chakra, it's in your body, right? The body keeps the score. But when we perpetuate pain in our headspace, then we're trying to find all kinds of reasons as to why it happened, to rationalize our behavior, to de-rationalize another person's behavior, to kind of strategize how we're going to get out of it, to, ask ourselves, what did we do wrong? Like, it's just endless, endless, right? Unless we put a stop to it, which I think that you're trying to do because the Three of Swords is in the upright. You're trying to learn, you're trying to overcome it, but you're like knee deep in it, in the future potential, right? And that's not to scare you. This is something, I'm not telling you something you don't already know. That's not how I read tarot. It's just weird because I'm a stranger and I'm telling you, right? I'm a stranger at least to your situation. There's something here that you're trying to reconcile. And I see you putting the work in, which is good. This feels so dark night of the soul. I don't see the hermit here, but you're really going through something right now, Virgo. And you're going to continue to go through it until you allow whatever is unstable to just bring it flat down, just flatten it. It's almost like spirit is saying there's nothing here in this situation worth saving, and there's no shame in walking away. If it's for your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, I can't tell you what to do. Tarot can't tell you what to do. But I'm just reading based on the cards what the suggestion is. Strength card in reverse to clarify these two in the future. Really, when you have the Strength card in the upright, which is Leo energy in the major arcana, number 8. Thank you, Spirit. This denotes a mastery over the ego. The ego is the thing that protects us, right? So let's just say it's a situation between you and a significant other, a high level commitment of some kind. Your ego can keep you trapped and just like, well, in like self-righteousness, right? Like, oh, well, they did something to me, screw them, like they're in the wrong or whatever. Whether or not that's true, if it continues to burden you, if it's something that you continue to think about, then you're the loser in that situation because you're allowing the ego to rule over you, which I think is what's happening right now. I'm sorry to, I don't, I hope that you're still watching, Virgo, because you're being called out a little bit, but it's just because your spirit guides want to help you because they don't want to see you unhappy. And there's a situation here that feels very, very fraught, right? And it all started with you clamming up and not acknowledging what it is that you truly feel inside of your soul, inside of your gut, your intuition. What is the advice from Spirit? 8 of Pentacles in the upright. 8 of Pentacles talks about hard work, investment, diligence in something. And the 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. 6 of Pentacles is the Justice card in the minor arcana. It talks about equal give and take, generosity. Spirit is saying enough is enough. You work way too hard on your pentacles. Pentacles is earth element. It's your element. You worked way too hard. You've invested way too much and spent too much time and energy doing something, working on something, for it to then be doled out unfairly. So Spirit is saying it's time to kind of give back to yourself, and that's not selfish, but it's almost like you're giving too much to a situation. You're giving too much of the benefit of the doubt to someone. I think it's a someone. This is one of the most difficult readings of this series that I've had. Oh, look, see? High Priestess. Bam. Like, this just justified my entire reading for you. High Priestess is Pisces energy, number 2 in the major arcana. High Priestess sits at the veil between worlds. Incredible. The most psychic of all of the court cards, the signs in the major arcana. The most psychic tarot card. The most psychic figure. This one. In the upright. That is so, thank you, Spirit. You are so powerful at this time. But it's almost like Spirit's telling me you're not, it feels new. Like you're not really sure how to use your abilities right now. It's new to you, right? Or maybe being intuitive is not new to you, but this way that your spirit guides are talking to you could be new, because maybe they're showing you physical signs, that you can't ignore anymore. That's the thing. The spirit's asking you not to ignore it, not to ignore what your gut is telling you. High Priestess in the upright. It's tremendous. I feel very hopeful. See how the yin and the yang here? It's like the darkness and the light. Embrace both sides. Embrace an understanding of shadow energies, right? The moth is all about shadow energies. You have them, everyone has them. There is something here that is telling you and has been telling you to walk away from something. If it is abusive, if it is toxic, you don't need it. You can find another friend. You can find another job. You can find another partner if we're going that far. Because right now I'm reading for you, I'm not reading for them. There's something here that feels really burdening. Spirit wants, it's like, open up to the possibilities of this power within you and kind of gather your strength to make the decision that serves your best and highest good. Virgo, this was tough, but I hope that you feel empowered by it. You have the power. It's right here. It comes from within. That's your reading. If it resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification if you would like to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Virgo.